Good afternoon, everybody. We've got the Michael Price family UCLA women's head basketball coach Cori Close, joined by senior Gabriela Jaquez and freshman Sienna Betts. We'll do an opening statement from Coach, 10 minutes of questions for the student athletes, and then finish up with questions for Coach.
Yeah, I just want to start out with, there's been really two formidable things that have happened in the last week and a half that I just think remind me during this season what this is all about. And last Saturday, I had the privilege of going to Tijuana to visit the Tijuana girls' home that we have adopted a couple of players, and we got to bring Christmas presents down to them that all of our players donated, and our recycling money to be able to do that. And looking into their eyes and just how they watch every game, they watch what they do, they write us notes. And we have this really special relationship with them. And then I think about, we get to come out here and play basketball, the game that we love, and in the process affect somebody else's life. Like, that's just sort of too much even for my mind, that we get to do that. And then today, just about almost a year ago, the fires happened, and several of the people that we really love in this program lost their homes. And today we had two families that lost their homes and had so much debt because of the insurance issues along the fires. And Westcom stepped in and took care of their mortgages and met that need. And we got to just go meet all those families. And I think about, I'm really proud of the courage that our team has shown on the court. But it's really humbling when you meet families like that have that kind of courage, and that you have a company that we get to partner with, like Westcom, that steps in times of need for other people. And I just wanted to say, as we go into this holiday season and we talk about basketball, in the end, it's putting an orange thing in an orange thing. And the reality is that it allows us to be able to be a part of people's lives in a meaningful level. And I just want to say that I'm humbled to be a part of that. And I just needed to mention that we're really lucky to be a part of being a blessing to other people. And I'm very thankful to have a team that adopts that kind of vision. Long drawn out question, I realize. Really proud of our non-conference. Thought we grew a lot. Really want to give a shout out to Long Beach. As I've told you guys, not that many local teams were willing to play us, and they've stepped up year over year. And so really want to say thank you to them. But very excited with what this team has earned and what they will continue to commit to learn.
Gabriela, how is your confidence shooting-wise? I mean, your three-point shooting has just been tremendous, and today you were 5 for 6.
Yeah, just confident out there. I put in the work with my coaches every day, with the scout guys, managers, and they help me. And like I mentioned earlier in the season, I just know what I want my shot to feel like. And yeah, they have confidence in me, and my teammates set me up. I mean, it's really hard to guard all of us on the court, so they create open shots for me.
And Sienna, 2 games in, how are you feeling overall? And you got what, double-digit scoring, first in your college career? How was that?
I'm just really grateful to play the game of basketball, and you don't realize how much you appreciate it until it's gone. So it just makes me super excited to be here and be with my teammates and be able to play with such amazing women and players. So I'm just really, really excited to just continue this season with everyone.
Hi, ladies. Congratulations on your win. These last 2 games you guys played, has practice been harder for you guys, or were the games harder? And going into the holiday break, what is the main thing you guys want to focus on until January the 3rd? Thanks.
Yeah, I think that our coaches have been doing a great job of holding the standard, and we continue to talk about that, but that's just coming in every day ready to work. And I think that we took it and applied it in the games, and the games are difficult too, of making sure we're maintaining our focus even though we're up by how many points, but continuing to challenge ourselves, mini games inside the bigger game. And going into this break, we'll enjoy it and then come back and have some tough matchups ahead, but we're going to continue to take in the hard coaching because we know that's what we need.
Sienna, now that you're having a chance to be on the court, what are some of the aspects of your game that you pride yourself on the most, and what do you find that's working with the team somewhat the most so far?
I think I'm like just a player that can like mesh well with other people. Like I feel like I go off of other people's skills pretty well, and I feel like I just work with other people pretty well out there. I hope so. I don't know.
Absolutely.
But I think just my IQ, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that's
Your
all I can
seals
say.
and post
My
ups.
seals, post-ups, mid-range kind of stuff. I mean, I'm still only 2 games in, so I got to show some of it, but I just hope to continue to be able to, go farther out, but also just maintain my post skills as well, because that's just as important, even more as. So.
For Sienna, I mean, talking about your IQ, last game, Coach called you an elite, that you have elite vision, and that's a testament to your high IQ. I'm just kind of, what can you say about, your passing game and your ability to kind of read the defense, pass out of the post, find your teammates? How has that kind of developed along?
Yeah, I mean, I think even when I was younger, I wasn't a score-first player for my team, or score or play at all person on my team. So I feel like I was able to watch and understand and figure out what my teammates like, where they want to be, when people are going to be open. And that's honestly something I just pride myself for, and it just makes me super excited to, go out there, because that's what I want to do. I want people to say that they liked playing with me more than anything, and I was fun to play with, and I was a good connection for everyone.
Hi, you all. Congrats on the win. Coach Cori talks about you a lot. She says she's be big on you about being patient. Can you talk about her just giving you the confidence and just reassuring you to be patient out there?
Yeah,
Nice.
I think in general I'm just a really impatient person in every aspect. So being injured for like the first time this long in my life, it was really, really hard to be able to be okay with it. And Coach Cori and the whole support staff, everyone in the whole program, and the girls as well, the leaders like Gabs, they were really good just, just getting me through it every single day. And sometimes it's hard to come in and want to just keep doing the little things to get to this point. But just seeing everyone and their great advice just made it every day pass a little faster.
Anything else for our student athletes? Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Happy holidays.
I don't want to take the paper right now.
No.
Coach, you obviously pride yourself on defense, but what does it say about playing 11 players in this game, having them all score, 6 of them in double digits?
Yeah.
How does that?
Well, I think what I love the most is the percentages of our, baskets that are assisted. I think, you look at Charlize Ledger-Walker and Kiki Rice, 17 assists between the two of them and 1 turnover. When your 2 lead guards are that selfless and getting the ball to people in good situations, that's a pretty good foundation to build on from the offensive perspective. It also tells you that we've got a lot of great weapons. That's why those are assists, is that they're able to put the ball in the hole. And we have unlimited potential offensively. But I know that I continue to go back. It's not just that I pride myself on our defense, it's that the last 5 out of 6 national champions were the number 1 defense in the country. And we are the number 1 offense right now, but we are the 14th best defensive team. And we need to continue to raise the level of our defense and, compete with ourselves to get better every day. And that's got to be the biggest competition that we have, is our commitment to the defensive end. But there's no doubt. I mean, I'm not sure you're going to find a roster in the country with as many diverse weapons as we have, and as much depth and balance in positions and strengths on the offensive end. It's a great luxury to have. I just don't want it to lull us into slowing our improvement down in the area that we need it the most.
Coach, I mean, a pretty strong showing from your freshmen today. Of course, Sienna and then Lena as well. It seems like Lena's, I think this is her 3rd game with at least 20 minutes on the court. What is it to just, have those freshmen who are kind of developing so quickly, and is it a glimpse at the kind of future?
Yeah, and as I told you before, Lena is going to be a major building block for us. She's fearless. She didn't shoot it as well today, but I love the fact that she's confident every time, whether she's made her last 3 or she's missed her last 3. If she's open and she's on balance, she's going to let it go. And she's putting in the work. And so I really am excited about where she's going. She's really been a little more aggressive off the bounce recently, and I like to see that. But more than anything else, she's 6'2.5", and she's a guard out there to use her length to get more deflections, to dive on the floor for 50-50s, to be more aggressive on the defensive end. I think she can do more of that. Obviously, Sienna's accolades speak for themselves, but don't sleep on Crizzy. Crizzy is somebody that is, first of all, so beloved by our team. She's got this bulldog sort of personality. If you want me to dive on the floor, I'll do that. You want me to go pressure the ball, I'll do that. If you want an out of area rebound, I'll find a way to go do that. And, I love her character. I love how she's affected this particular team, and that's not easy to do. And so all 3 of them have been just a wonderful addition, and, we're obviously going to lose a lot. And so their ability to grow and then come in and lead us in coming years is going to be really important.
Coach, Megan comes in at the end there, gets the and one. I'm sure you've heard the crowd cheer every time she checks in. Her teammates seem to love her.
She's an internet sensation.
What can you say about, how important she's been in terms of kind of building the chemistry here?
Well, first of all, I'm always like, what's the dance going to be today that she does when she scores? But I think that one of the things that's really fun about her is that the humility it takes to be arguably the #1 softball player in the country right now, and on top of that, to come in and say, hey, whatever role you need me to play, Coach. You want me to be an energy person on the bench? I'll do that. You want me to, just bring the joy of what that takes? I think that shows a lot about her humility and a lot about her selflessness. And, I never thought that she would have the depth of impact on our team that she has. And it's just been wonderful. We're going to have to share her a lot more in the coming months with softball, because obviously she's got really amazing things ahead of her, and this is a really important year. But this year will always be remembered with a big part of what Megan Grant has brought to our team. And I'm really grateful that she's a 2-sport athlete. We can say that now.
Hey, Coach, what do games like this mean to you? Obviously, you are the more dominant team, but, I saw a lot of people working on that game. Lauren Betts was out there shooting 3s.
Yeah.
And a lot of people was out there shooting 3s as well. Can you talk about what games like this mean?
Yeah, I think that the reality of even these last 2 games, it's the fight for consistency and the fight for growth. And so you either are going to leave, and I was telling them this morning at shoot-around, that you're either going to leave for the break and go, man, I earned this break, and I can take a deep breath and know that I can regroup, enjoy my family, enjoy a break from basketball, or you can be like, oh, we didn't really finish that well. Practice is going to be really hard when we come back. Or, they have to earn the confidence and peace that they want. And I have been really proud, actually, and I've been very critical of that, actually, leading up to Cal Poly and to Long Beach games, but it's against human nature that when the score is not giving you the feedback, when you can cut some corners and still win the game, to stay process-oriented, to surrender the outcomes, and be committed to growth and consistency. Were we perfect at it? No. Do we still need to, grow in that area? Yes. But I thought we made really big strides. So, when you have that, Lauren shooting those 3s, she's not doing that to show off. She's doing that because she's been working on it for months, and now she's looking for opportunities to add those aspects to her game. I'm really proud of Gianna Neepkins, and I've been really challenging her rebounding and her defense, and I can see that she's focused on that. Everybody knows she can score. I'm really challenging Kiki on her defense and rebounding, and watching her become a consistent guard rebounder for us has been awesome. So I think it's really about, it shows me how committed they are to the process. And I just don't think outcomes lead you to where you want to go. You got to let those things go and be present in the moment and committed to your growth process.
All right, Coach. I have a game question, but I also have a question about, I heard that you say that you and Paige had connected on gospel music. So I wanted to know.
Paige Beckers?
Yes.
That's true. That was a long time ago.
I just wanted to know what was like your favorite gospel song.
Oh, yeah. I do. I'm a huge gospel music person. Probably Maverick City or Elevation Worship are probably the two that I've got playing on repeat right now. But yeah, I did. When I was coaching Paige Beckers with USA Basketball, I happened to have a connected room with, she was roommates with Celeste Taylor at the time, and every game day it was like which room was going to play the loudest gospel music, and so I haven't talked to her about that for a long time actually, but that was sort of a fun thing that we shared, and I do think that Paige, she's been really outspoken about how much her faith has carried her through the ups and downs with her injuries and those kinds of things, and that's a central piece for me, and so it's been fun to watch how that's affected her life and her game and her impact on the people around her. What was the game question? I've missed that, sorry.
The game question was going to be, you mentioned about defense and their efficiency, and also the championships that the last been won because of the defensive-minded teams.
Yeah.
What is it specifically in statistics do you look at to say that they reached that standard or that mark?
Well, I think, when you do your studies, there's a lot of different parts, but the two areas that we're focusing in terms of growth right now are limiting three-point attempts by our teammates or by our opponents and defensive rebound percentage. So I don't think we're boxing out as well as we need to, and sometimes we're just bigger getting the rebounds. But the reality is when we've played teams like, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Texas, all of that, Duke, that are really strong offensive rebounding teams, those are the ones that when we rebound well and we defend and get stops. When we don't rebound well, we have a harder time. And so, and that was a big part. We felt like we sort of got punched in the gut that way against Texas, and that was a big part of how we had to come back in the second half. And, we could have saved ourselves a lot if we had boxed out in that first half. And so those are the growth areas, but I just think there's a lot. It's hard. That's why there's not a lot of people that do it. And I happened to be on Fox this morning in the preview show, and they were talking about sort of the 5 teams that have a chance to win it. And obviously they were talking about that. I don't talk about it that way, but LSU, South Carolina, Texas, and UConn and us. And I start looking at those teams, and where do we need to separate is on the defensive end. We're at a really good place offensively. I think we're in a really good place with our IQ, our commitment to the process, but we still have to get better at that if we expect to be competing for a national championship.
Yeah, Coach, I wanted to ask about Gianna Neepkins, like you just mentioned. She had 10 and 10.
Yeah.
So can you talk about her efforts to be great at
rebounding
as well, 5 rebounds?
I think that's one of the things I've really enjoyed when watching in Gianna is that, she's really willing to be coached hard. And the other day I told her, I said, look, if you only wanted to be a great scorer, you could have stayed at Utah and done that. But if you want to have a chance to be held accountable to championship habits and to be the most prepared pro you can at the end of all this, then that's why I have to be into you all the time. But, she wants that. And so, sometimes I'm sure it's not easy for her because she's just been the leader in so many different things for so long. But she's a phenomenal human being. We are so lucky to have her here. But she's a competitor. Like, I don't care if you're playing her in cards, she wants to win. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. She's a competitor. And so I'm actually challenging her to bring that competitive nature. Like, you never get beat on the same things 2 times in a row. If someone happens to get a rebound, that'll never happen again. I will hit you so early, you'll never want to go in there again. Like, I'm really challenging her to bring that kind of spirit, because she brings it instinctually on offense. But she has it in her on defense. And it may not look like, getting under pressure in 94 feet, and it may not look the same as it might for somebody else, but she can affect defense in great ways, and it's been fun to watch her grow in that area. Yeah.
And then kind of just to follow up on that, how much does, having Neepkins, having like Kiki Rice, how much that everyone has such versatile skill sets, how much does that free up your lineup construction where you can seemingly kind of rotate anyone in at any given
Well,
time?
it just gives us a higher margin for error, the amount of people that would have to have a bad night, to have those rotations. And I was watching the UConn-Iowa game today, and I was seeing how rushed that Iowa was, their shooters were, because of how quickly UConn closes out. But then as I've studied our Final Four loss to them last year, the court spacing was so different because we didn't have the deep range from so many different people. So those closeouts were not very hard to do because we were spaced closer to the basket and closer to the three-point line. Adding Gianna Neepkins, adding how Kiki Rice is shooting, adding how Gabriela Jaquez is shooting, all of those closeouts just got a whole lot longer. And now you're talking about if you're going to choose to double Lauren, then that means the rotation out of that is going to be a lot more difficult. So, Gianna and the improvement of others, as well as Charlize Ledger-Walker, that just changes the entire way you have to attack us.
Just a quick one, Coach.
Sure.
Any update on Tamia?
Yeah, Tamia, what we're trying to do, the great thing is that Tamia is just really excited to get back with us, and I'm hopeful that we're going to try to get even another year from her. So we're working on that, but I would say probably not before the first of the year. So I would say we're hoping right around the first week of January, but we're not sure. So, and just also, you guys, we got great basketball ahead of us. In fact, Tony said he's counted on our schedule, including playing SC twice and the Big Ten tournament, that we've got 16 NCAA tournament games ahead of us in the Big Ten. They're projecting 13 teams from the Big Ten, to go to the NCAA tournament. And we need to build momentum here. And we need to build that Southern California knows that the Big Ten championship runs through LA. And you guys have to help tell those stories. And you guys, whatever you need, whatever access you need, we're going to meet you there. But just really want to tell you how important you all are and how thankful we all are for you. And we've got some big things to accomplish, and we can't do it without you. So thank you guys so much for what you're doing. Happy holidays to you, and just know that you're appreciated. Thank you.